Today we're going to be making a beaded hooped earring. So first you're going to need some wire. Now this is about 15 gauge, but if you want you can use like 18 gauge. It depends on what you prefer. I prefer the thicker one. And you're going to need some beads. Now I got this. This is actually fabric trim and you get it in the fabric department. And it comes with beads and little teardrop beads. You're also going to need some jump rings and you're going to need some jewelry working tools. So let's also keep in mind we need beads, lots of different kinds of beads. Now I like the teardrops. We're going to be using them as well. So let's get started. Now you're going to want to cut yourself a good piece of wire between about 8-10 inches, maybe just 8, and I've already started beading them. Now once you've got all the beads the way you want them, any combination, any kind, it's your choice, then you're going to take the two ends. You're not going to make a loop on anything, you're going to take the two ends. But before you twist them, you're going to want to make sure that it's shaped correctly. And once you wrap a piece around twice, then to hide the wrap around, you're going to put a big bead on top, just like that. And I'm going to show you, don't worry, we'll get to that, but I just wanted to show you what the idea was. Now we still have a lot to add to this, so let me get started. So now I put the big bead to kind of hide the wrap around, and I'm going to show you that and what I did and everything else and all these beads and stuff, but we're going to get to that. So here is what it's going to look like. Now I put those little silver beads on the side to make a little bit of a difference, and you can hook your jump rings up prior because we're going to hang the teardrops from them, and I'm going to put 2 jump rings on the teardrops. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I did to get this part over here. Now you're going to make sure that you wrapped around 2 to 3 times and then cut the excess and make sure it's neat. And then you're going to put the big bead over it, and with the other piece you're going to straighten it, and you're going to make your own earring hook if you wanted to. It's just an option. So get a pen. The other one was too big, and then you just wrap around the wire, lay it there, wrap it around, and then go back, bend it back a little, and then a little piece forward to make your own fish hook. It's really that simple. I'll be doing it again, but see? Just like that. And it's a built-in fish hook. Now, you're going to have to file that to a point. You can use a regular nail file for that, or you can use a Dremel, whatever's easiest for you. But make sure that you get it good and you get it to a nice point. And when you're done, that you go ahead and clean that with some rubbing alcohol to make sure that it's all sterile for your use. So once you're happy with the point that you've made and you've cleaned it, now that's it. It's a built-in fish hook, and it should look like this. This is your first part. You still have to hook the teardrops to it, okay? So simple, just use a pen. Okay, now I'm going to do the next one in front of you. So I took a piece of wire, I guess this is about 7 or 8 inches, it's 14-15 gauge wire, and now depending on the size of your bead holes, you know, I have bigger bead holes. If you have smaller ones, use a smaller gauge wire. Now I'm going to just start threading my beads through. Do not make loops at the end. Just go straight ahead and put your beads through this. So I'm going to thread my beads. You can do it with whatever beads you want, whatever kind, whatever shape. And I used fabric trim like I showed you, and it has beads hooked to it. And I love that because you get so much with that. And it's not that expensive. And you get little beads, big beads. They're good finds. You get them at any craft store or even online, and it's usually in the fabric area where they sell the fabric and ribbon, and you could either get it cut how many yards you want, or it comes in a big flat long spool. You could buy a whole 2, 3 yards, 4 yards, whatever. It's not that expensive, and you get so much. Okay, so now I've beaded them all, and I kind of crisscross the wires at the top, and now I'm figuring the size. You want to make sure you match them up because they have to be identical, otherwise one's going to be big and one's going to be small. So I'm just messing with it, making sure that I got the correct size. I'm shaping it. Now twist the pieces. Twist one end about 2 to 3 times around the other piece of wire. And now you're going to take your bent nose pliers and you're going to squeeze them down so it's nice and tight and neat. Then with the piece that's sticking out, take your cutters and go as close as you can and get all of it so that it's not sticking up. And there's still a little piece, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Okay, now I'm going to still make sure that it's neat and all pressed down, and I'm going to take my bent nose pliers. Now with the piece that's sticking up, you want to straighten that, okay? Because we're going to do the same thing and make our earring fish hook. So keep shaping it, keep putting it up against each other to make sure the correct size. Now we're going to put the big huge bead to cover where we wrapped the wire so it looks neat. Now again, that's an option. Now we get a pen, we lay our wire on it and we bend it over, and then we bend back a little to give it that fish hook look. And then once you bent back on that, just like that, it should look like that. Then take the front and kind of bend that upward. And now compare it to the other one so they're identical. Now cut off any excess wire that you may have. You might want to put it against the other one. And then go ahead, take your cutters and cut it so it's the same length as the other one. Okay, now you're going to take your nail file and you're going to file it. And then once you get it to a nice point, you're going to clean it with some rubbing alcohol. And there you go. There's 2 hoops with homemade fish hooks built in. Now we're going to hang the tassel part. These I used teardrop earrings off of my fabric trim. They come with all those beads, which I save. And then I throw out the piece of thread and I have my teardrop beads. Now you can just buy teardrop beads all alone, but it's a really good idea to get this fabric trim because you get lots of little beads with it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm using 2 jump rings, one around the hoop and then another one that attaches to my teardrop beads, and that's what it's going to look like. They're all hung. I went ahead and did that already, so it's double jump rings so they hang, and that's it. That's what it's going to look like, your little hoop, beaded hoop tassel type earrings. So you could either use teardrops, tassels, charms, but it really looks nice, see, with those beads. I love the teardrop beads. Okay, so now make sure that's how you want it, and once you're satisfied, keep in mind you have to use double jump rings so that they hang low enough and they give you that nice dangle. See, I've got 2 jump rings here, and now I'm going to do the other one. So let's get started, and I'm going to make sure I hang them just like the other. There you go. finished, all done. And there you have it. Your beaded hoop with teardrop beads and homemade ear hooks. But wait, I'm not done. Here they are, finished at last and ready to wear. They came out good, didn't they? Okay, here's one more idea. If you didn't want your homemade built-in fish hook, you can make it different. Straighten your fish hook out and cut the excess, but not all of it. Save some to make a loop. Now get your round nose pliers and go ahead and make a loop. And with that loop, we're going to hang some regular fish hooks. This is in case you need a special kind. Most people are allergic. They can't just use regular jewelry crafting wire. They have to use stainless steel or some kind of non-allergen type metal to go through their ears. So this is the other option. We're going to do the same thing for that one. We cut off the excess. Now we take our round nose pliers and we make that loop so that we can hang our fish hooks. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to get my fish hooks and I'm going to hang them on the earrings. And I'm attaching them, and there they are. So that's your other option if you don't want the built-in homemade fish hooks. And it gives a little more swing and dangle to the earrings. And there they are, finished at last. And I like the way they hang. They're just the right length. Always be mindful of the length. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and comment. And I'll see you in my next video.